Well, hi, everybody. We are jumping into the Great British Baking Show Cookbook Kitchen Classics, and I have made the very first recipe in the cake section. The lemon, lime, and blackberry Victorian sponge. There's a picture of it right there. I made this yesterday, and I have to say, it is not a very difficult cake to make. It is not extremely time consuming. So I thought, well, let's just jump in with that one first, right? Okay. You do have to make a lemon lime curd. So it will show you the steps to do that. Then you make the cake, and then there is another jam filling that you put in there. And the icing is basically a chantilly cream, which is just whipping cream whipped up. Okay. And so I'm going to just show you in the video the steps that I went through and how it ended up. And then once that's all done, I'll let you know how it tasted. So let's go. All right, here we go. We're about to make this lemon lime blackberry Victorian sponge. I'm so excited. So like I said, the bake tins that I got will have removable bottoms, and they are a 7-inch pan. You don't have to use a 7-inch, but you can if you really want to. It makes your cake taller. So I have put some cooking spray in there and some parchment paper on the bottom to keep it from sticking. And the first thing that the recipe calls for you to do is to make the lemon lime curd. I've made lemon curd before. It's not that difficult. If you've never made it before, I think you're going to really love this, and the flavor that you get is just so much better than the jar kind in the store. But anyway, I'm just zesting my lemon and lime. I've got some other ingredients to put together here in just a second. And here you'll see I have the juice of the lemon and lime and the zest. And I'm finishing that up, and I'm going to take it over to the stove because you have to heat all of this up over a bain-marie, which is basically a heat-proof bowl sitting on top of a pot of water that's gently boiling. So you're going to mix up your eggs, your lemon and lime zest, and your juice and your sugar. And you're going to give that a good whisk, and then be careful and put it over on a pot of boiling water. Probably a lot of you, if you're a baker, you know that's what you do. So I'm putting the butter in there poorly with one hand here, but I did put it all in there. So you're just going to whisk all of this together and just keep stirring it. Well, it takes about a good 8 to 10 minutes until it comes to a nice thick consistency. And you'll see here that it has done that, and coats the back of my spoon. You're going to put it through a strainer to get out all the zest. Put it in a bowl with some saran wrap touching it, and put it in the refrigerator and let it cool, and it will thicken up even more. Next, we're going to be blending. I'm going to be quiet here for a second. The mixer is pretty loud. I didn't realize that when I was doing this, so I've blended up my butter and sugar. I'm adding some heavy whipping cream here. And I'm going to add my egg mixture a little bit at a time. And then last, you're going to add your flour. So just blend it just to where everything is incorporated. You don't want to beat this to death. So I've got some flour. Just slowly put it in there and keep it from flying out over the kitchen. And then the last thing you're going to do is add some milk. And then just incorporate that in with a few turns, and then you're going to be ready to put it into the baking pans. So my cake batter is in the pans. Try to get that even if you can. I think I got a little bit too much in one of mine. Next, we're going to make the blackberry jam. It's just some blackberry sugar, and I put a little bit more sugar in there because, you know, I'm Southern and we like all the sweet things. You're going to boil it on the stove until it breaks down to like a jam consistency, and let that cool down as well. I'm making a lime sugar simple syrup here to coat my sponges with, which is really nice. And you can see that my cakes have come out of the oven and they are looking pretty good. Everything is ready to go. And I'm going to remove the cakes from the tins. And with this removable bottom, you basically just put it on a glass or something, a pedestal, and it falls off. This one fell off. It scared me when it did. But you're going to take the bottoms off of the pans, of course, and let them cool completely. Now, they're about the same size. I think one is a little thicker than the other, unfortunately. But I'm going to take a serrated knife and I'm going to just cut them horizontally so I end up with 4 pieces of cake. And you want to try to get those as even as you can. I did not. You can see that some of them are a little wonky and uneven. You can try to trim that up if you want, but it's your cake. You can do what you want to with it. So now I'm taking that lime simple syrup and I'm spreading that on with a little brush on all 4 pieces of sponge. It gives it a nice flavor and helps to moisten the cake as well. And no, I have not been drinking. I just can't see what I'm doing with the camera in my way. And I have taken some whipping cream and just whipped it up to stiff peaks for my frosting. And I'm doing my best to encircle the cake with it. Can't see very well. I'm not doing that well of a job, but basically you're creating a little barrier, a little wall or dam, because you're going to put half of your lemon curd on the first sponge. And you're just going to spread it around to the edges there. So with this whipped cream, I had a lot left over, so I'm thinking I probably should have put more on the cake in between the layers, but you guys might want to be aware of that if you attempt to make this cake. Now I'm adding another layer, and I messed up here. You really want to flip that over because, well, my cake started to slide when I cut it, but I don't know. You can be the best judge of that. Maybe I just needed more whipped cream to hold it together. Here we go again, and this time we're going to add the blackberry jam that I made. So we're going to, that looks so good. We're going to put that all in there and do the same thing that we did with our curd and just spread it around to the edge of the border there of the whipped cream. That I'm telling you, the jam tastes really good, and I think it helped because I added more sugar. Then you're going to add another layer of sponge, and you're going to do the exact same thing that you've been doing with your whipped cream. Spread another coat. I think that I needed to go in a little further, not quite so on the edge there. So, yeah, I think I got smart and I was trying to add some more here. So that's something you guys need to decide for yourself. And I'm going to add the last bit of lemon curd, the next half, and you'll see that I was very lazy and didn't get a different spoon or spatula to spread that with. So there's some blackberry jam in there, but hey, it's all going to the same place, right? It's all together. Nobody will see it. And then last, you're going to put the cake top on it. So make sure you save one of the pretty tops for it. And you are going to take the rest of your whipped cream and just put it all over the top. I kind of just emptied my piping bag and then put some more on top and just spread it around with your spatula or a knife, whatever you have. And there you go. I'm going to, decorate it with some lovely strawberries or blackberries. And I'm putting some powdered sugar on top. So kind of looks like it's snowing, doesn't it? So I don't think it turned out half bad. Pretty good, especially considering I was doing a lot of it one-handed trying to film this thing. So you'll see here on the book, that's what theirs looks like. This is what mine look like. I have to say that my blackberry, though, kind of bled over to my first layer of lemon curd, but it was really good, you guys. It was delicious, and it was even better the next day after I had let it sit for a while in the refrigerator. So yeah, there you go. And I'm going to close with some on-camera comments for you. All right, we're finished with our lemon lime blackberry Victorian sponge cake. You saw my picture. You saw the video of how I did it. Like I said, cakes are not my strong suit. Basically, I'm going to go back and preface this with
I'm not good at decorating cakes. Let's put it that way. I can make great cakes. I just can't decorate them well. But I think that this one turned out pretty well. I would suggest this cake for a lovely spring or summer tea or get together with the fresh fruit. It is winter time when I'm baking this, so the strawberries and blackberries aren't as fresh as they would be in the summertime. So I would definitely do that. I found that the whipped cream made way too much, more than I needed. I may, if I do this again, I think I will thicken the layers of the whipped cream and make it a little bit higher. Maybe that's what they were doing. It just didn't look that way. As you can see, this cake, if you use the 7-inch cooking tins, that is a smaller cake, but you could go ahead and use your 8-inch tins, baking pans, and not invest in a 7-inch. It would just be a little shorter cake. It would still give you, though, the ability to split them in half and layer it that way. The whipped cream only called for a tablespoon of powdered sugar. It's not very sweet, so if you want your sweeter, I was kind of worried it wouldn't be sweet enough because, you know, it's the South and we just love everything sweet. And but when you combine it with the curd and the blackberry jam and all, it really, I think it's just fine. You don't have to go overboard and sweeten it. So those were the only things I had trouble with was basically, oh, and when you're stacking your cakes, and I didn't show this in the video, when you slice them in half, make sure that the side that's been cut is on the bottom, because I stacked a piece and it slid. I know that's kind of hard to explain, but just make sure that you give yourself some friction or some traction when you're stacking those cakes so that they don't want to slide off on that smooth bottom, okay? That was a mistake I made on that one. But all in all, I would highly recommend it. My husband gave it a thumbs up. He loved it, so he's my taste tester. So make yourself the lemon and lime blackberry Victorian sponge.